My intentions for the call is go through these points of the agenda. Especially, I'm very excited to do the transparency audit criteria review, and yeah, no distractions. I'll pass it to Ari.
My intentions are the same as yours, so I would love to know the. I would love to discuss the criteria for the transparency audit, and yeah, that's the most important thing for us, I think, to talk about. And then yeah, then when we still and we can also check out the issues that we still have in ZenHub, and yeah, everything in our agenda. These are all of my intentions, and I don't have distractions at the moment, so I'm passing it to Livia.
My intentions are to, it's the first time I'm coming to the transparency working group, so to catch up on what you guys are doing and help however I can. And my distractions, no distractions as well.
Awesome. So I think we could start with the transparency document that we have to coordinate with Santi. And well, I was thinking there. The first thing I was thinking is like, how are we going to handle this point? Like, do we want to do it async? Do we want to do a process? Do we want to maybe do it like we do it with the audit criteria, like we draft and then we coordinate? How do you would like to do this?
I think it works well when we do it async, and then we can, because I think we can come up with more ideas and more more ideas when we do it async, and then let's have a working session to review or what we come up with, because it's I think it's more efficient than to have a call and then start with nothing, so I think it's better that we come up with our own drafts first, and let's combine them or compare them in another call or session.
So, I mean, I think that point is, I mean, the sooner we get, the better for Santi. So, should we have it like ready for, let's say, Friday? What do you think?
Yeah.
Like we drafted, let's say we have tomorrow and Wednesday to draft, then we meet on Thursday, we set a call and coordinate, and then we give it to Santi Friday.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Is that good? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, the next point is the ZenHub issues. And I was thinking we need to create those issues, or is no need. Like, I'm very not that much used to use ZenHub. And I don't know if, for example, that thing we just discussed, it should be here or is not needed. Like this, I mean, there is an issue for this. Like there is an issue that Santi is holding for the document, and I don't know. I think it's okay if we just do it and give it to him, or should we add it something here?
I think it's okay. We can always create issues for ourselves, because each of us uses ZenHub to check our own tasks, right? So if you want to create one for yourself or for myself, I think it's not really a big deal if we create one. But I think that the issue that Santi created is for himself, and then yeah, we can also update there. I don't see any problem if we also create an issue for ourselves, so we have it on our list of tasks to do.
Okay, so I'll do it. I'll do it now, or should I do it later after the call?
Yeah, but you can do it after the call or whenever you want.
Okay. Okay. I'll just take note. Okay. So, okay, our next point Okay, checking all the recorders. So we have it on transparency, right?
You can check the link there in the agenda. It will lead you to the.
We have it on.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Ivy. So.
Yeah, I updated this one today. So I always highlight the week, the current week where we have to list the names of the recorders.
Awesome.
So as I
Awesome.
mentioned before, I'm more comfortable recording the calls that are earlier for me. So I hope that's okay. But
yeah,
if there are,
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. You're recording this call and then you're doing legal. It's awesome, Ivy. It's awesome.
yeah. But if there are calls that you won't be able to attend, then just let me know. So I can be there to record them.
I should be able to attend everyone. Like I'm just here in La Pobla. I have a lot of time. What is the tech param voting though?
I saw it only today. I just saw it today. It's new in the calendar, so it's not a regular call. It's not a weekly call, I think. So I put their new so it can get your attention because you might not be able to.
Is that Spirit Foundation
this
proposal?
one. Sorry, I'm having a session. Maybe I shouldn't have put in this calendar. I'm just having a session with Alex and YGG to make their proposal, but it doesn't need to be recorded.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so
that's a different one. It's a different one, Zep. The params voting will happen after the steward's call. There.
Oh, okay. Oh, I agree. That for sure. That looks exciting.
Yeah, so I just put new in the spreadsheet so you can see that.
Okay. Yeah. Then. Okay. So now we go to the last point of the agenda, which is the big one, the transparency audit criteria. Right now is 2 documents in one. Like Ivy created a document and I did another myself. So maybe there is stuff that is twice, but then now we just have to make it clear and yeah. So we could read it together and like we go through parts. For example, then first part, then we go to each point and we gather feedback and do rounds, and I think that can be the best usage of our time right now. So draft transparency audit criteria. To make the audit possible, the working group should prepare the next documentation and it will be gathered and saved on their working group forum section with an audit date. It will be reviewed every 3 months, but each working group can ask an audit if they want to improve their transparency. Before conducting an audit, prepare a brief. Okay, yeah, that's like the same. How it will be performed. Okay, so we should gather those paragraphs on one. So I think that the samples are nice. Maybe I think that's better wording than this.
Actually, Zep, the second paragraph that I made, this prepare a brief on what the audit is about. This is actually for us. I think this is for the transparency working group to do. And then I think the one that you prepared is for the working groups. What the other working groups should do before the audit. So yeah, we can. Yeah.
So the first paragraph is when I write this, I was thinking like, for example, there is an audit, then the working group should get prepared those documents so they know what are we going to be reviewing. Like not like we go to the call and then we start to search. I think it's better if the working group already know what they should have
Yeah.
and then we review it together.
Yes, that's right. That's why I think it will be covered here in the point where I said that we should prepare a brief on what the audit is about. And yeah, so of course we have to prepare this summary of actions that we will be conducting and what they will have to do so they can get a high rating. So yeah, maybe you can just
Awesome.
move the first one, the second paragraph to the as first, and then or just we can just improve this introduction later on. I think we can proceed with the criteria.
Okay, yeah. So manifesto. Do we have the manifesto complete? Are we following what the manifesto says? Should it be updated? When I say should it be updated, I'm thinking like sometimes like the working group is evolving and I don't know, let's say they do more stuff than before. For example, now when we write it, our manifesto, the audit was not in there. So I think it, for example, in our case, it should be updated. Then does the team have the money? Okay, that's this.
Okay,
Yeah, it's okay.
maybe like Livia might get confused with this document. Also, what we did here, Livia, is like we drafted separate criteria for we did it separately, and then we wanted to compare them and combine them in this call. So you might see that there are items that are repeating because the first part the first part is Zep's idea, and then the second part is my idea. So that's what we're trying to do now, just to clarify what's going on.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying. But that's how it works. I mean, like so many of our documents are so messy right now, and it's the process of exactly what you guys are doing now, like going over it and refining. So that's great.
Awesome. So, okay. Does the manifesto reflect the current working style of the team? Yeah, I think you write better than me. So, when was
This
it last
second
updated?
this second bullet
Yeah,
is related to your point. Should it be updated? Because I agree with you that the manifesto should always be updated based on what's going on with
yeah,
based on the current status of the working group. That's what
yeah.
I think. Mhm.
But then is another thing. I mean, yeah, I mean the manifesto can evolve, but the main idea is like manifesto is just one and it lives in it there. Like it's not like we updated it like every month or something like
Mhm.
that. But maybe we can just add it here and then if not, then we change. We can just this document we can still be edited before the forum post. Does
Yeah, I think should it be updated is a bit more flexible than when was it last updated?
so we delete this one?
Or yeah, I'm just thinking on the practical side of it. Like if something doesn't need to be updated, then putting the date when was last updated is, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
necessary, if it's
Okay.
updated.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think you should put the should it be updated first before when what was the latest change.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for my idea here is why I put what was the latest change. I think it's important that we communicate the changes in the manifesto if it's a good practice because
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if there is changes, those should be notified somewhere so people know. I think
yes.
that's a great idea.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, maybe they could be highlighted for like for some time. Like in the document, when you make a change, then you can highlight what you changed, and then when people go there, they can see it.
Yeah. So we should add like highlight in the document,
Yes.
or it's not necessary.
I
It's
think
just
it's
an
a good.
idea.
Right? Okay. Does the team communicate the changes in the manifesto to the community? Does the team communicate the changes? Okay.
Yeah, so it is basically asking the working group if or if they communicate this yeah, if they notify. I don't know who should be notified with the changes. Is it the members or is it the community when we change the manifesto?
Usually the manifesto has an owner. So like the lead of the working group should be the one making changes in the manifesto to make it easier. So I think just a notification of like, oh, I updated the manifesto, and then having it like highlighted or having a comment in the doc saying what changed, like something small, just so people can go and see.
Yeah. So
Okay, let me try to make the change. So maybe let's just remove to the community because it's very specific. I'm not sure who should be the recipients, but yeah, so it's important that the community.
I think it can be with the community or with the working group. Like the notification could be in an open channel or in the forum.
Okay.
Maybe we can pick what would be the best place to make that notification.
Yeah. In this for the bullet communication channels, I don't know which channels are the best to communicate the changes, but my idea for this audit is yeah, the working group will just let us know, you know, which channels are they using to communicate the changes, or should we is it should we give recommendations where they should be communicated? Or should we let them choose the channels that they want?
Yeah, maybe let them choose which one is like most active.
Okay.
It could be in a call. It could be in their Telegram channel. I mean, in Discord channel.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
what I'm thinking, I mean, for example, we are doing the audit, okay, and then how do we know if the working group communicated that? For example, if there is in a call, should we go to the call and record that and paste on somewhere so it's like I'm thinking on an audit like all the documentation that is here is shown on the same document. Like for example, there is this communicate. So we should, for example, in let's say audits of Gov January, and then we paste the part where if there was a change, the part where it was communicate, but I don't know how to handle that.
I think for this one, the documentation that we can use like a screenshot of the or in every I am sure in every call there is a agenda, right? So they can show us this agenda that this changes have been communicated in this call. You know, it will be in the agenda, or if they just notify the team in the Telegram channel, they can just take a screenshot of that message, and it's already proof that they communicated this changes. What do you think?
I think that's a good solution, but at the same time, I'm thinking of the working groups. They will be already having a lot of work, and if we tell them we need that, I don't know. How would you feel, Libby, if I asked for you for that? Like if I ask, maybe you did that and I needed that, but in your point of view, like you have a lot of work to do, how would you feel?
Yeah, I think it's not that much work to add a point in the agenda. And then the agenda is like this document, right? The other thing I thought was also we could put in so the forum has group session, all of the like a different forum channel for each working group. Maybe we could just reply a thread of that working group that Manifesto updated. Like just very simple. And then you would show a notification in the forum, that there is something
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't know if it was clear, but that message would pop up in the forum.
No, yeah, it's clear. I think it's good. So at the same, maybe it's not at the time, but I was thinking like the audit. It would be nice, for example, let's say there is 3 audits during the year. So, for example, in that forum post that you, Libby, created for each working group, we could add a forum thread saying, okay, audit, let's say January 1st, then audit July, and have one forum post for each updated of the audit. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
And you, Ivy?
Yep, it sounds good to me also.
Awesome. Okay. Is the manifesto available in the forum? Okay, that's great. Roadmap. Do we have a roadmap? Are we where we should be? Is there a roadmap realistic? I was telling that to Ivy a moment ago. I was just Sam was looking at the document and told me how should transparency know is the roadmap, for example, let's say tech is realistic when we don't know about tech. And I think that's what I was thinking on if the roadmap is realistic. I was thinking more on like, let's say the working group is not advancing or taking the job very easily, and maybe something like that, or differently. Maybe the working group is asking for funds, and then it's saying, let's say, we want to do this, and this, and a lot of stuff, but maybe we don't have the resources to do that. That's what I wanted to highlight in here, but I think that it's out of our scope. I don't know. What do you think?
I personally think that it's out of our scope because we're only auditing them for transparency, and I don't know how we're gonna measure if their roadmap is realistic because of course they know these areas better than us. You know what I mean? If we're auditing communications team, how are we gonna know if their roadmap is realistic if we're not experts in communications? That's just what I think. Maybe Livia has a different perspective.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good point though. When I saw, I was thinking this is something we should incorporate in some type of like mutual monitoring practice. And it's great that you guys outlined it here. So maybe we can explore how to do that, and who would be. Maybe this is something, yeah, from like SoftGov creating some type of practice to do that. But it's great that that point is there. Maybe I'll write maybe you can leave it there for a little bit until we discuss it.
Okay, I really like the idea of like mutual monitoring, but like you say, maybe it's a task for SoftGov, and because yeah, I think you have like better understanding on SoftGov of stuff like that, and yeah, we can just leave it here, and before we post it for the vote, we as a community we decide if we want to leave it here or not.
Yeah, or if you want to take it out, I can take a note to talk about it tomorrow. We can talk in SoftGov.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I think it will be easier for us.
Okay, cool.
Okay, does the team have a roadmap? Yeah, that's the same. Take this one. Oops. It is up to date. Please highlight the current stage.
It's the same with your question. Are we where we should be? It's also my idea for that, but I don't know if which phrasing is.
Yeah, I like more yours. Is it up to date? Please highlight. Yeah, that's cool. Does the team communicate the roadmap and its changes to the community? Okay, that's similar to this one, right?
Yeah, because I think that these two documents are important in every working group. So I think every change, I mean, the major changes that we make on these documents must be transparent and be communicated to the community or to the members of the team.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Okay, then the financial statement. Is there a plan on how active funds are going to be distributed? In the past cycles, where were the funds distributed according to the plan? How are the funds being held? Anything we could add, or is that correct? Or any thoughts on that?
I don't know if I understand, because funds will be handled by the DAO, right?
Yeah. So maybe that's not. I don't know. I just saw one day. Maybe he was working with the DAO, but I was looking at Sam. Maybe he was voting. Yeah, and he was distributing funds to his team. But yeah, maybe he was just voting. Yeah, I think that's right. The DAO is holding.
Yeah, he was probably distributing because he was creating the tokens, right? I think.
No, it was with Gardens.
I think Zep, this section of the audit will be only applicable to the to Griff or to whoever is managing the finances of the organization.
I think this.
We can leave it there, but it will be only applicable. Of course, I think we also, aside from the working groups, we also have to audit the like who is managing the who's doing the overall management and handling the funds. So this can be a question for Griff or to whoever is doing that, but not to all working groups.
So Griff is managing the funds from the common stack side. So I think TEC would be different. Maybe something could be like how the impact hours are being rewarded, and to have transparency there. That would be somehow more related to the financial statement, I think. Because, for example, there are some people that get paid by the common stack, and they are receiving impact hours. So there is a percentage of how much they receive in funds, how much they receive in impact hours, and that percentage is all in the spreadsheet. So might be more related with the praise system. Then another thing I thought is that maybe after the hatch, the working groups will submit proposals to the commons and ask for like X amount for that week of work or X amount for that month of work. And then that will probably go to one account and be distributed to the other members of the working group. Maybe this is something that we should look into, but it's so undefined yet. Maybe we can talk about this with Sam and Griff and understand like how could that work better. And then for that, we would need like the transparency.
Yeah, I think that's a great feedback, Libby. When I write that part, I was thinking more in the post-hatch, like when working groups are asking for funds. But before hatch, I think it's very important and necessary to show transparency in the impact hours, as you say. I think that's very nice. So
this
relating to
just to clarify, because
go ahead.
I'm not very familiar with the system yet. So do you mean if the working groups request for funds, then I think this should be part of the criteria. But yeah, maybe we can have another session or consultation with Griff and Sam. Or Livia, are they the best person to discuss this with?
Yeah, so this is something we're also talking in SoftGov on how our contributions going to be rewarded after the hack. Because right now they're being rewarded by the impact hours. That is the praise system. And the impact hours will receive funds from the hatch. But then after this initial funds were sent to the impact hour holders, then we still don't have a system for how new soft contributions will be rewarded. Like not the proposals that are asking for funds in the DAO, but like the work that we're doing, that it's being rewarded by impact hours. How is that going to look after hatch? So we've been discussing this in SoftGov, and there is the source cred. So how to integrate source cred that will also reward participation? Will that be like automatic? They will have like tokens that will go to people in an automated way, or is it going to be through praise? Or like working groups are going to be requesting funds every month for their work, and then how are they going to distribute between the working group members? So these are all kind of open questions that that we should look into. We can also talk about this tomorrow. I'm adding here to the notes, because we've been discussing that the transition and contribution reward, but there's still a lot of open questions. So maybe that can be open for the transparency, and then as soon as we have more like what is going to happen, then we understand how to like what is the transparency over it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Libby. So what we could do here, because we are going to do 2 trial audits before the hatch. So before the hatch, the thing we have for fact is the impact hours. So when we do the trial audit, maybe we choose in financial statement, choose to the impact hours and how the contributions will be rewarded, and we could delete those 2. How you think about that? Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Awesome. So we leave it like this. On the forum post, like we are just going to go through the impact hours, and okay. Then another point, it's the members. Are all the contributors being acknowledged for their contributions? Are the main tasks assigned? Does the team have a list of its members? Who are the maybe this should be the first one, right? Oh.
I actually don't really know what questions to ask for this part in the audit in terms of transparency, but my idea here is like the first thing in my mind, the first thing that comes to my mind is like I think it's important that people know who are doing what, so so they know who will be like who can they ask when they have questions about things. I don't know how to audit this part for transparency purposes. If you can if you can explain it better, Zep, then it would be great. I mean, what how are we gonna, yeah, I mean, in terms of transparency, what do we have to look at into?
Yeah, that's a right question. I just was thinking that it was interesting to acknowledge all the contributors, but you are right. Like, how we do that?
I mean, what should we be transparent about when it comes to the members of the working group? Or is it necessary? Is this section necessary?
Maybe it's out of our scope, but what I was thinking, for example, let's say you write this forum post, and then I just post it, and I get the knowledge, and you don't. Something like that, then you won't be acknowledged for your work, and I think that's something. It's interesting to be transparent, but yeah, I don't know how to handle it. Maybe it's more like gravity job, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think, Livia, about that?
I'm really like, this is so amazing, this document, because it raises so many questions that sometimes stay in a blind spot. And yeah, like how are we ensuring that all contributors are being acknowledged? I was thinking about this last time we did praise quantification, that so many people that are doing a lot of work might not be receiving praise. Like, for example, we were all a group of like non-tech people quantifying praise. And then are we quantifying the work of the devs right? Like how, so many of these questions started to come up. So I think it is, it could, I think the praise kind of covers that, right? If this question is there, are all the contributors being acknowledged for their contributions? And this is in the radar of every working group. Then I feel like it's an incentive for people to start like thinking more out of the box and seeing like who did what, how people are contributing, like being attentive for that. I don't know if it's something so easy to measure, but more like putting in the culture, for everyone to be like aware of that.
Yeah, something Sam is telling this all the time, and he's like, for example, it's so sometimes he have like a lot of impact hours, but then his team doesn't have those much somehow, and he's always saying it. Even the other day we were doing price point with Jake and Griff, and Sam was like, please give away my impact hours and give it to the team because they don't have enough. Like he feels, for example, let's say Paulo, Bibi, they should have more impact hours than they actually have, and somehow it's not being. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they do or they didn't do, but that's a feeling that Sam have. Like,
yeah. So this is that question. It's perfect. I don't know what they do, what they don't do. Right. This is something for transparency. I think. Like, how can we make like what are the contributions that are invisible right now, and how can we make them visible?
exactly. I mean, I'm feeling like, for example, let's say in this same case, I could ask, for example, the steward in that case would be Sam. Do you feel like, but the thing is, how do we audit that? Like, let's say Sam says, no, I feel Paulo should have more impact hours. But I'm struggling how to we fix that. Like, maybe it's a feeling, but I mean, it's good to know their opinion, but when we are doing an audit, it should be a document that is visible for everyone. And I'm struggling thinking how we show that to the community.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. Maybe having a big call that everyone looks at the call. I don't know, something where everyone looks at the graphics at the impact hour and everyone can give an opinion about, like, I think this person should have more, I think this person should have less. I think,
Yeah,
like, the balancing of the impact hours that we do in the end when we're quantifying praise. Maybe that should be like totally in the open for many people to give an opinion. Kind of like an advanced process about the praise.
I think we could do something like we do the price every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks we do a forum post asking to the community if this impact hours distribution are feeling right to everyone. Maybe do a vote. Is that would that be nice or it would be too much?
I think a vote would be maybe confusing because, like, the vote would say, oh no, this is not good, and then what? Then we would have to, like, we need to create a process maybe.
Yeah.
I'll add this to tomorrow call also.
Okay. I think we can leave it here, and tomorrow call since we are going to discuss it, we'll see what the community thinks, and then we edit this part. Are the main tasks assigned? Does the team have a list of its members? I think that's unnecessary having that, right?
Yeah, just feel free to remove any item that's not necessary because I really don't know what to ask for transparency purposes here.
Yeah, I was feeling it's kind of the same. Knowing the members and knowing the contributors, it's kind of similar. Who are the members of the team and what are their roles? Do the team communicate the role of its members so the community knows whom to reach out regarding specific concerns? Can you explain this one?
This is what I was talking about earlier, that I'm not sure, because this is the only part where I see we can be transparent about. It's like, uh do we communicate, it's like, I think this is more for on, no, not for onboarding. It's like more of communicating to the people who are doing what, but I don't know if it's important when it comes to transparency. It's just an idea that it should we know who to, for example, I'm a new member of the of TC, and I don't know who can I can ask about the praises or the tokens or what's going on. I don't know who to talk to. So who tells the community members that if they have questions about this, they can reach out to this person. If they have a question about this topic, they can reach out to this question. I mean, does the community need to know those information? Should we
Yeah,
be transparent about that?
go ahead, Libby.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, yeah, that is related to onboarding, and also transparent to, it's related to everything actually, like knowing who you can talk to. Do you think it's not so clear, like who are the working group leads, and what topics are they responsible for?
I'm thinking like having this on the document, but then there is like we have this, let's say, audit of software. Then we have those roles like Lewis Stewart, and then then there is contributors. Does the team members know? But no,
Yeah,
I'm struggling.
for example, inside of SoftGov, there is like Santi and Mateo that are responsible for SourceCred.
Yeah, so exactly.
And then there are like little projects like in comms. Marco, it's also responsible for the website. I think more
Yeah.
is that what you mean, Ivy? Like
Yeah.
having more of
Yes.
a list of like what are people responsible for, and then if I have a question around that, I can go ask them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for in this part. So, but I think those roles are. I think we just have to check if these roles are communicated or like clear in some document. Maybe it's there in the manifesto. So, but yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. What Livia said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only thing I think it would be challenging to constantly update that, because I feel like some things are really quick. So maybe what could be in the transparency thing is to have like pointing where people can find this information, and then maybe in the agenda calls there could be something related to this. Yeah, this is a good point. We should think more about it.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, we leave it here, and then we keep thinking before the forum post. And then the last point is, what are the decisions made by the team? Decision making. What are the decisions made by the team? Give example cases. Does the team? I can you explain this because I don't understand.
This my idea here is, I think it's because there are some, since things are going so fast, right? So sometimes I maybe some working groups make major decisions. I don't know. I'm not saying that that it's happening, but it can happen. When we forget to communicate those major decisions that we make, but yeah, just to make sure that decisions that we're making are always being communicated. So I think it's very easy to measure because we have the weekly meetings. So I don't know if it should still be part of the audit since we're already doing that.
We have a sheet. That's all the decisions. I will. How can I get into this document? It's in the agenda.
No, I pasted on transparency. Let me.
Thanks. I'll paste the decision tracking sheet in there.
Awesome. And it's free to edit and do anything you want. Use this document. So that decision making, every working group has to have it, or is not every working group? Like every working group is doing the decision making in the yeah. Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Wow. So just a question, who should we audit when it comes to decision making? Should we audit like yeah, it's I have the same question as yours, Zep. Should it be only for each working group or should be for each working group or is there only some kind of are there specific people that we should be only auditing when it comes to decision making?
I feel like it's very individual. Like everyone has the agency to make a proposal, to submit a vote. So I think it should be like what would need to be audited?
Yeah, I don't think I'm asking if the decision making should be audit or is not it. Because I feel like you said before, it's like I mean we're deciding it as a community. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we could see like how much that proposal followed the process, and the process is there to make as transparent as possible. So did they use advice process? So that's not mandatory. So it shouldn't be like bad if somebody doesn't use it, but it's like recommended. It could be like steps maybe for the audit. And then was the proposal submitted like from Monday to Friday? Were the results published on Monday? I don't know if that is something that I feel like it's almost a stretch, but
I'm feeling like this is like not related to the working group. So maybe that decision making is something we can do transparent, but in another process, something like that. Because we're auditing working groups. Let's say maybe legal did any decision making on the forum, and when they reach those points, how we say like mark them as good or not. Hey, Sam.
Should the process for the decision making should always go through the forum, or not all decisions should go through the forum?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, all of them to go through the forum, but then only like cultural agreements and decisions are finalized in the forum, and then financial decisions and like smart contract decisions are finalized in the commons. but they would still be posted in the forum, and then the link would be pasted in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
But I understood what you were asking, Zep. So maybe we don't need all of that. We could like all of this 3 last questions. You're right. Maybe it's no the other ones. Sorry.
This one.
The ones that you just added. Yeah, because maybe this is out of the scope of transparency.
Mm-hmm.
But I got that you were saying like, oh, did this working group went through the decision-making process to make a decision, or they just took a decision? Is that what you were saying? Like without voting?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I also was. That's what I also looking for. Yeah. If the decision making go through a process, and if the decisions, if the community is aware of the decisions that are made. So if it goes to the forum, then it's then they're transparent enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this way is good. And then results. The results of each working group are going to be assigned with a color. So green. What I was thinking is if each of these points are okay, they have. Okay, if all are green, if all are checked, then it's green. That can be changed. Like let's say I was saying like 1 to 3. It's yellow and more than 3 is red, but maybe we can edit, and because there is a lot of points. If someone doesn't have like, let's say, I don't know, 5, maybe it's still yellow. How do you see that? Let's ask different. Do you think the system is good, like having green, yellow, or red, or maybe that's not? Do you like it or not?
I like the color coding system here, but regarding the points, I think we can decide on that once we have finalized all the questions and see the total. We have to know how many questions, the total questions, total number of questions we have, and then we can decide which are what is the passing score, what points do we need, how many points do we need.
And if we say in percentage, let's say like green is like 100%, and then yellow, it should be, for me, it should be between 50 and 75. But how you feel?
Yeah, maybe green can be a little less strict. Like green is between 80 and 100%, and then yellow, it's like less than 80%. And
Yep, I agree with that. So for yellow, maybe 50 to 80. Yeah, and then below 50 should be red.
Yeah.
Percentage is better than the number of points.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then I add that note, like transparency working group should be audited by another working group, ideally by soft or gravity members. But I mean, I feel someone should audit us since we are auditing everyone, and yeah, and it should not be tough.
This is very. I think it is important that we should, because I also forgot that we should also be audited. Thanks for putting that there.
Who watches the Watchmen?
Exactly. I remember that on the Ostrom book.
That's awesome. That was a great call. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for joining, Libby. Yeah, this was so nice you joined here. And yeah, I think that's finished, and we can just close. We are just at top of the hour. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye bye.